Oh, geez.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
This isn't fun anymore.
No.
Damn it, Chris.
Oh, okay, first off, everybody out there.
I didn't say
I said
child
Jeff.
murder. All right.
What other murder is there?
What other murder is there?
I asked Jeff if he wanted a treasure episode mystery or a murder mystery. He said murder. That's why we're doing this one.
A whole family got murdered.
There's a pretty funny gif I was sent to in that.
I usually don't do the murder stuff. That's Jordan.
He's like, I'm going to pick the one where the little girl's traumatized.
Last week, Jordan got the meat episode.
Yeah, pulls her own hair out.
Right.
Yeah, cool.
Well, that's not even the worst one. Wait.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mysterious Pals. My name is Chris, and we're here again on another great episode. I want to introduce my best pal, as always, my co-host, my best pal. His dad called him Joey Pepperoni once. His name is Jordan.
The one time.
Welcome, Jordan. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks. Great to be here.
And again, 2 weeks in a row.
Ooh.
Two separate trips.
Two separate trips, two separate times.
Yep.
We're very thankful to have the raddest guy on the planet that I know.
Don't do it.
His name is Jeff.
There we go.
Lead singer of Dethlehem.
Yeah.
Our intro, outro music people.
Hey.
Thanks for coming, pal.
Thank you for having.
Find them in the description, a link to their Bandcamp page. Jeff, thank you for being here.
Also, one of two of the cream team.
Yeah. I also didn't actually give any real background stuff.
Last episode?
Yeah, which is fine. Like I have like a Bachelor of Science and design and things like that. Like what I do for real.
So you're an actual professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just some guy we scraped in from.
Don't say where you work, though.
Oh, no, I'm not going to. But it's okay. Honestly, they wouldn't care. I have the cream team. They know about it.
Oh,
I'm still not going to do it. But director of UX currently at a marketing and advertising agency.
So he's a professional,
cool.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So he has money.
Well, I have a house and a puppy now, so not really.
Yeah.
But
He'll do it to you.
money gave me those things.
There you go.
Well, welcome back, and thank you for being here
Cheers
again.
to that. All good stuff. Boop.
This week, I'm going to be taking you on a ride. But I want to ask first, just in general, just a general question to both of you. You ever hear that, when you're growing up and you hear like, hey, you heard any creaks in the house? And you're like, you hear those creaks at night and you're like.
Creek or a crick?
Creek. Not cricket. But you're like, hey, Mom, why is that sound up there? What's that sound in the attic? And they're like, it's just the house settling. You ever get that answer?
No, I never asked that. I'm not a little bitch.
But do you hear
I've heard that before.
creaks in your house?
Never
Sure.
once.
On stairs?
No.
Did you ever think someone was in your attic?
I don't have an attic.
You look like you're testifying. I do not recall.
I do not recall.
Sir.
I played the fifth.
Not that I recall.
I've never owned an attic in my life.
You
I kind of have. It's like a crawl space. It's not really an attic.
Yeah.
Have you heard any weird sounds up there?
No, I've never heard a sound.
I was woken up. I don't necessarily believe in the paranormal, but I was woken up the other day.
The other day or like?
Honestly, I swear to God, it was this week. Actually happened earlier this week. I'm not making this up. I don't think it was anything supernatural or paranormal, but
I'm hearing creaks now.
I was sleeping and like something woke me up, but it sounded like a knocking, which is kind of weird. I was like, oh, maybe the maintenance guy's here because we've had an issue with our ceiling in our bedroom. I was like, maybe he's knocking the door, but usually when he knocks on the door, he like pounds and they'll like ring the doorbell, like aggressive pound. Like,
So it's super annoying.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
but I think it's to alert you, like, hey,
so he's a jerk.
I'm here. I'm coming in.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
I was like, this is much more like tap, tap,
Soft
tap.
pound.
Yeah, and I was like, what? I was like, is the cat doing something? My cat doing
Cat's
something weird?
knocking like, hey, dog, can you get up? What was it at? Was it
No,
like
it
on a
was-
window, on a ceiling?
It
Or?
sounded like, originally it sounded like the door, and then it happened again. And I was like, oh, it's coming from inside the house.
Okay.
Inside the
The
house.
call's coming from inside the house. And then I was like, oh, maybe they're on the roof because we have a flat roof. Why that's a thing, I don't know. It's stupid.
The water just builds up there, just
it's
falls
dumb,
right
'cause
through.
You guys
Yeah.
put a vegetation up there, man.
We've had leak issues but that's been fixed. But I thought maybe they're up there again, like just making sure everything's fine.
Just hitting the roof with a hammer, hitting holes
I
in it.
don't know.
Yeah.
I never figured it out. But my cat
What time of day was this?
I just woken up, which was late.
You said this was what, last week?
This was this past week. Yeah. Kelly was already at work.
So what? So what was it?
But my cat was freaked out.
Oh.
Did you film any of this?
No, I did not. I was groggy. I was just like, "Ooh, what's going on?"
Was the TV on?
They went outside to the front door. I didn't see the maintenance guy's truck. Went out of the back door.
It was open.
No, but there was. We have like this outdoor thing where we put like the plant stuff, like the soil and like grilling stuff, and like this. It was like wide open, it's like a zipper, like a mesh zipper thing, and then that was open. I was like, this one explain the noise if like an animal got in there or whatever. I don't know what it is to this day.
So something was knocking
to this day for a whole week.
As far as like a week ago.
Well, maybe next
Here's the
mystery
thing.
will solve it.
I think it's probably just something I was experiencing in my dream that I like woke up and was like, oh.
Okay, so this is something that happened to you recently.
We could just cut that all out. That was stupid.
We're like, cool, man.
Yeah, good story.
Great.
So someone was in your house.
I checked everything.
Were you missing anything?
No. I checked all the spots.
The spots.
Closets.
Was your bed wet?
It's always wet.
All right.
I have a lot of accidents. No.
Hey, it's fine.
Well, we're grateful to have Jeff here again this week. So we're going to talk about something. I'm not going to say anything about it yet. Thank you for that anecdote, Jordan. But I'm going to set the scene.
Hold on.
Oh boy, he's coming back.
Ask that question again. Let's start over.
Cut it.
Start the
Yeah.
whole thing over.
Yeah, start the whole thing over.
I'm not cutting this out. Have you ever had those mornings, like when you were growing up, did you ever have those like weird creaks in the ceiling or anything kind of experiences? You're like, hey, Mom, what's that sound up there? And
Nope.
Okay.
Never.
Much
That's
better.
my joke. You stole my joke.
Not cutting any of that out. I'm going to cut it so it's like I had the cat was knocking on the door. Just piece it all together.
We're like shifting around.
Yeah. All right.
I've had like creaky floors and stuff like that. It's old.
Right. Yeah. Who hasn't?
Yeah.
What a
But you
dumb
never
question.
thought someone was in your attic.
I don't think we ever had. Do we ever have attic?
No, nothing was ever rolling a red ball to me in the attic.
That you know of.
We had that like we didn't have like it wasn't stairs, but like that thing you pull down and like the ladder would come down.
Oh, that's the
An attic?
spooky.
That's a weird stuff.
Like the stairs to the attic.
Yeah, like but it was like not stairs are just like always there, but like you pull down the thing like in
A ladder.
like National Lampoon.
Yeah.
You pull it down like the ladder ladder thing kind of comes down.
Hit you in the face.
Yeah. I never went up there or like
Oh,
was
you know
terrifying.
what? Now that I'm thinking about it, there was an attic in my parents' house when I was growing up. The only way to get into it was from my closet.
Nice.
And it was like always
well,
very
but then it
treacherous.
comes Jeff's on his own.
And my family and I, we watched, like, we all love horror movies. Like that was like the thing we did growing up.
Yeah.
And of course, as a
You
kid,
woke up and someone was knocking.
of
and
course,
you're
as a
just-
kid, I got scared.
the
And
cat.
I made them put like a deadbolt on the closet
So you
door.
were scared of the attic.
I was, yeah.
But nothing was ever up there
No.
that you know of.
Just
You
a
never
bunch
heard
of-
anything
just a
scurrying
bunch of
around.
spiders and
Rats,
normal
bats,
stuff.
Yeah,
the creepy uncle.
No, I don't think so.
Jordan.
It was also like my attic and my house was like, it was so like
Oh yeah,
Small.
Yeah.
you had to like crouch
Yeah.
to even get like anything up there I could have killed. What I'm trying to say.
Except like a ghost.
I got this.
I could kill a ghost.
Okay.
No problem.
Good.
Just hit him with some salt, man. Done.
Throw an HP
Salt?
potion at it.
Yeah. Salt, DX chop. Done. That's all you got to do.
You heard it here, ghosts. Jordan, Jeff has it all under control. Anyway,
You never heard about that? Salt?
no.
Like a salt circle?
It's not a slug.
You never heard about You know what? Look it up. All right. Read a book.
Is it like from Poltergeist, that movie?
Yeah,
That
book.
movie was scary as hell.
Poltergeist was awesome.
Or I never saw
I only
three.
recently watched it.
The one in the
Um,
parking garage?
No, just the first one in general.
Oh.
My partner Tiffany was like, "Well, you never watched it?" And I was like, "No." So we watched it. It was sweet. I do know the fun fact at the end that the skeletons were real,
Yeah.
which is insane.
That's terrifying.
Craig T. Nelson.
Coach.
What a gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only Dauber was in it.
Yeah. Well, he's Patrick the Star. He knows
Dobby?
time for that.
Dobby? No, not Dobby.
Dauber. Have you Have you seen the third one, or is it the second?
I don't
or third
think
one?
I've only seen the first and second
Where
one.
she's in the parking garage and there's a puddle that pulls her in.
No.
It's probably the scariest scene in any of those movies.
Oh, okay.
And I saw it way too young.
Hmm.
And still to this day, it's still burned in my memory of her running through a parking garage and getting pulled through a puddle.
Have either of you ever been in a supposed haunted place before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Supposed like
I have.
supposedly.
not that you witnessed anything, but like supposedly haunted place.
So recently, I went to New Orleans
Nolans.
for a
Read a book, Jeff.
work trip. New Orleans.
Nolans.
No, whatever. You know what? Look, no. So I went to New Orleans and for a work trip, and we got a hotel. And as myself and my coworker got out, there was like a tour bus walking by, like giving a tour. Like, this place is this place is that. And as we step out of our Uber that we got to go to the hotel, we hear this guy say, "And would any of you stay here now knowing that?" And they were all like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, great." So we walk in and it's like this haunted hotel, and the whole shtick is that it's haunted.
Wait, this is where you're staying?
Yeah, we stayed there.
Nice.
And it was cool. It was actually cool because it was like historic. They had like this big plaque and stuff. I forget exactly which one it was, but I'm sure there's a bunch of them there. But yeah, so I stayed there.
Anything happen?
Nope.
Yep.
I got real drunk and
That was
slept
the
there.
scariest thing. Yeah. Okay.
The scariest thing was the smell on Bourbon Street. This is below sea level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Sounds awesome. I would love to go to New Orleans.
it was fun, but
But I woke up with
Yeah.
ectoplasm all over
anything
my
else.
face.
yeah.
All right. I'm going to start this out here, this story this week, this mystery, by just kind of setting the scene with just listen. Come along with me. Come along.
We're doing that.
We're here.
So,
Yeah.
on the night of April 3rd, 1922, an artisan named Michael Polackel passed by a remote farmstead located 70 kilometers north of Munich, Germany. 1922.
When we say artisan, what do we mean?
It doesn't really say. He's just an artisan.
Okay.
A guy walking by
All right. What?
Germany.
in Germany,
All right.
1922. Michael
The
P, MP, noticed the oven had been heated due to the smoke coming out of the chimney of the house that he's passing, the farmstead. Real remote, there's nothing else really around. As he passed by the house, Polackel was approached by someone with a lantern who blinded him. But Polackel was scared and hastily continued on his way, getting away from the farm. But he noticed, as he got downwind from the house, he noticed a strange odor of burning fabric come from the fireplace. The next day, 6 bodies of the Gruber family and their maid were discovered by neighbors.
okay.
So what happened to the Gruber family at the Hinterkaifeck Farmstead?
Hold on. I need a quick recap of
Yes.
this. That was a lot. I wasn't expecting that.
1922 Germany.
An artisan's walking by a farmstead. He sees stuff coming out of a chimney,
Right.
MP is the guy's name?
and
Michael
that's it.
Polackel. He sees that the chimney's lit. There's a fire in
That's
there.
it. He just sees a lit chimney.
He notices fire. Someone's in the house.
Right. And that's it, though. That's all he notices.
All he notices. And he notices someone comes up to him,
And blinds him.
blinds him with a lantern, so he runs away.
Blinds him like,
Yeah.
like,
Kind of like trying to be like, get away.
Go on, get.
oh, like get out of here.
He didn't say anybody said anything to him, though.
Right, but still,
Right.
that was, I would be like, what are you doing, bro?
The next day, 6 bodies of the Gruber family and their maid were discovered by the neighbors.
How many Grubers are there?
McGruber.
So they're all
Well,
dead.
there's 5 of them. One's a maid, not a Gruber. We'll go into
Okay.
that. So this is the story of the Hinterkaifeck Farmstead murders.
All right.
Hinterkaifeck is kind of what it's known for, the Hinterkaifeck murders. So the Gruber family consisted of Andreas Gruber, he's 63, his wife Cecilia, 72, their widowed daughter Victoria Gabriel, who's 35, her 2 children, Cecilia, who's 7, and Joseph is 2.
Cecilia?
Cecilia.
That's a name?
It sounds made up.
There's
Again,
2 of them.
as we know,
2 Cecilias.
we are bad at pronouncing names.
Yeah. That's-
Spell it.
Cazillia
Cecilia?
with 2 of an umlaut over the A.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if that's called the 2 dots.
yeah.
No one knows.
I'm going to say Cecilia.
Type it into, have the thing say it for you. Type it in her name
You
in
meant-
the thing.
You mentioned like it says something about oven.
that the farm that someone was in the house.
Yeah.
But listen, this will come back because we're gonna find out.
You remember we left the oven on that one time we were living together for like 2 days?
Oh man,
we made
2
like
days.
we made like a pound of tater tots.
Yeah,
They forgot to turn the oven off, and like we're like, oh, it's really hot in the
it was
apartment.
the summer. This is summer.
It's like,
This
why
is
is it so
August.
hot?
I did that
so hot in the
once,
apartment.
and they were just like,
Oh crap! The
Chicken
oven's
fingers.
been on this whole time.
We blacked out, and then we woke up and went to class. Walked back. We're like, why is it so hot in here? We left the oven on for like 2 days.
that's
This is bad.
not good.
That's
Dangerous.
not good at all. Anyway, also not good. Hinterkaifeck Farmstead in 1922. So there was 5 members of the Gruber family just went over. The farm was built in 1863. The family was relatively isolated. The nearest neighbor living considerable distance away, who will come into effect later in the story. He'll come back. So here's some strange occurrences before the murder happening to the Gruber family at the farmstead.
So they're isolated. It seems
Pretty
like?
isolated, but
Okay.
it seems like it's a pretty close-knit community because a lot of neighbors involved.
When
I think
people
it's-
know about these strange occurrences.
This is documented because it was told to people in the town, and we'll go over that.
Okay.
Because people in town were like, dude, you should get a gun, and we'll go over this.
Oh.
So, before the attack, here's some stuff that happened. 6 months before the attack, the family had a maid quit, claiming she heard strange sounds in the attic,
Oh.
believing the house was haunted. Okay, so 6 months before all this stuff went down. In March 1922, Andreas Gruber found a strange newspaper from Munich on the property, initially thinking a postman had lost it. No one in the vicinity subscribed to the newspaper, contradicting Gruber's initial belief. So he thought, like, hey, the newspaper, but he asked the postman. Postman's like, I don't have that newspaper. Why would I have that newspaper? No one subscribes around here. On the days preceding the murder, he found tracks in the snow leading around the house, leading to the barn, but he never found them leading back away. It was kind of like they came from the woods to the house,
Stop.
around the house to the barn, and never went back into the woods.
But they're in the house.
Well, or they're in the barn. On the night preceding the attack, the family heard footsteps in the attic, which had happened multiple times, again, because the maid quit. He searched the building. Andreas Gruber searched the building after these instances, never found anybody. He told several family over the following weeks, like before the murders, about these instances, especially after the maid quit. And he never, like, the people around town were like, how about I give you a gun? Like, what's going on? Like, never reported it to authorities. He's like, I don't want to report to authorities. He just kind of gave it up.
What do you want to report that?
He found at one time, though, that someone spread straw in the attic.
Straw?
Yeah, like hay
Yeah.
in the attic.
Satanic ritual.
Oh.
He thought maybe what was thought by people who investigated of the murder, maybe someone was trying to muffle sounds. Someone was in the attic, maybe.
Okay.
We'll get back to that, though, because that comes up again.
All right.
This makes sense. Checking out.
Okay.
So they, again, the Grubers told people in town about these issues, like the tracks in the snow, the people sounds from the attic, and he was always told, like, people were like, hey, tell the authorities, and he just never wanted to. He also mentioned once that his keys had been gone missing. He never found them, but they come back up again. Remember that missing keys that he never found.
Missing keys. Okay.
Keys to his car.
Another instance related to, or before the murders, a school friend of 7-year-old Cecilia Gabriel, a granddaughter of Andreas Gabriel, daughter of his Victoria Gabriel, reported that Victoria had allegedly fled from the farm the night before the attack after a violent quarrel. Hours later, Victoria was supposedly found in the forest. So the daughter, who's 35, ran away after a violent fight, I guess, with the parents.
And the Zazel.
Is that how you say it?
Victoria was a daughter, right? And then her daughter was
Cecilia.
Cecilia.
And I don't know if that's right.
I'm like,
Zazel.
hold on.
Yeah,
Isn't that like a
Cecilia
demon name?
and Yosef.
Yes.
Joseph.
Yeah. A new maid named Maria arrived in Hinterkaifeck just hours before her death. So the new maid just showed up that day.
Hey, let's pour one out for Maria.
Yeah. She
Hey,
wasn't
man, I got a new job.
Pour
All
one out for
right.
Maria.
she wasn't well acquainted with the family. She was new to all this, but she showed up a few hours.
Man, imagine walking into that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
Jeez.
go to TGI Fridays, he gets shot.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Friday.
So discovery of the bodies. We're moving into this. So 4 days had passed between the murders and discovery of the bodies.
Oh boy.
Okay, so all the stuff we heard about all the stuff before.
Yeah.
Now we're going into like murder happens.
Yeah, I want to see what the condition these bodies were in.
4 days passed between the murders and discovery of the bodies. The bodies were discovered on April 4th, 1922 by neighbors who grew concerned when they hadn't seen any activity from the farm for several days, haven't seen them in church, that type of stuff. Didn't
Wait,
seem.
4 days after, would this have happened on? No, not April Fool's. Never mind.
No.
We said April 3rd. It happened, and then April 4th. That's not 3 days.
Sorry,
No.
April 4th, the bodies were discovered.
No, April 3rd is when that guy walked by.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And April 4th was whenever they found them. They were dead
Gotcha.
for 4
It's
days.
not an April Fool's joke.
Correct. If that would have been awesome if it was.
Wait a minute. So when was it?
March 31st.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We're getting into that. We're
Is there
getting
31 days in March?
Is there like a math problem for that? I don't know. Who cares? I just look at the calendar on my phone.
Yeah.
Look at the moon. So 4 days had passed since the murders had discovered the bodies, and we'll get into why they know it's 4 days. On April 1st, coffee sellers Hans Shavosky and Edward Shavosky arrived in Hinterkaifeck to take an order. So they had a regular order of coffee. They walked around the yard. There was no response after knocking on the windows and the door. Okay. They observed an open gate to the machine house and decided to leave. So they noticed there was an open gate to the machine house. No one was not coming up, knocking on the door. This is like a common thing. It just said, okay, see
They're
ya.
like working or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so they take off.
They're busy.
On April 4th, a local mechanic, Albert Hoffner, visited Hinterkaifeck to repair an engine. He noticed the absence of all the family, hearing only farm animal sounds and the dog in the barn. And all these kind of things are going to come back up. After waiting for an hour, Hoffner started to repair, taking approximately 4.5 hours, and then left. He was there on April 4th. Later in the day on April 4th, around 3:30, Lorenz Schlitterbauer sent his son Jonah, or Yona maybe? Johann?
Sure.
Sent his son Johann, and stepson Joseph, who were 9 and 16, to Hinterkaifeck to check the family. Hey, go check out the family. Go check on the family for us.
Check the fam.
Check the fam, Joseph Baum.
Joseph Baum.
Reporting they had not seen anybody, Schlitterbauer, along with Michael Pohl.
Schlitterbauer. What a
Yeah.
name. That sounds like a beer.
Some great
Hand me a
German-
Schlitterbauer.
And Jacob Sigel
Yeah.
headed for the farm. So boys went there. The 9-year-old, 16-year-old came back and said, we don't see anybody. So then a couple of the neighbors, adults, took off and went to the farm.
Okay.
Led by Lorenz Schlitterbauer.
They're the guilty people already. I can
Yeah,
tell.
hold on. Wait.
The Schlitterbauers.
Of the beer empire of the
Yep.
Schlitterbauer.
So after investigating the house, they went to the barn and under a board, which was then covered with hay, the men found
Hey,
4
again.
victims. Andreas Gruber, his wife Cecilia Gruber, their daughter Victoria Gabriel, and her daughter Cecilia. All of them showed signs of massive head trauma to the skulls, and faces lay crushed.
Jeez.
So
Like a blunt
it was,
force.
Yeah, a blunt.
Okay. Yeah. Blunt force trauma to the head. Someone smashed their head. Right?
Probably
Oh.
quick at least.
Well,
With blunt force, it'd be like a
okay. So
heavy object.
here's a terrible thing.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
In the hay, there was signs that for hours afterwards, she laid there and pulled out her hair from trauma. Because her hair was all pulled out and there's blood everywhere. She survived the initial attack being left in the barn.
So
Wow, that's brutal.
Why would they
Yeah.
know that she pulled her own hair out though? Was
It
it
was all
probably
wrapped on her
the
hands and
fingernails and
stuff,
stuff?
yeah.
Like that? Okay. Oh, jeez.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
This isn't fun anymore.
No.
Damn it, Chris.
Oh, you okay, first off, everybody out there.
I didn't say
I said
child
Jeff.
murder. All right. I just
What other murder is there?
What are you-
What other murder is there?
I asked Jeff if he wanted a treasure episode mystery or a murder mystery. He said murder. That's
Yeah,
waa we're
he
doing
didn't
this one.
say a
And there
whole
was- there's a-
family
there's a
got
pretty-
murdered.
There's a pretty
and
funny
kids
gif
got-
I was sent
yeah.
too. And that
I
was good.
usually don't do the murder stuff. That's Jordan.
He's like, I'm going to pick the one where the little girl's traumatized.
Last week,
Just
Jordan
pulls her
got the
own
meat
eyes.
episode.
Yeah, pulls her own hair out.
Right.
Yeah, cool.
Well, that's not even the worst one. Wait.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
The worst one's the maid.
Yeah,
think.
who just got a job.
Yeah.
You-
Grubauers are guilty of something.
Gruber's, Hans Gruber's.
Grubers, whatever.
Hans and Franz Gruber.
Okay, so
Frowns and frowns.
so after they found the bodies in the barn, a hallway that connected the barn to the house. Okay, so Schlittenbauer headed to the Gruber's living room through that hallway with the other guys behind him. He pulled out a key and unlocked the door. And
Wait, he had a key.
It's the
Didn't
Schlittenbauers.
the
I already
keys go
said
missing?
that.
Hold
I
on.
don't know, go ahead.
The Schlitten.
I said there was a key, but listen.
Yeah.
So he unlocked the door from the inside of that hallway and let the other two men into to the living area. Shortly afterwards, they found the chambermaid, Maria Baumgartner, and unfortunately, the youngest of the family, Josef, who was 2.
Oof.
Murdered in the homestead.
All right.
All the victims were found struck in the head with a mattock,
R.I.P. Joseph.
A mad talk.
which is known as a grub axe. It's like a
Oh, like a
small axe.
blunt axe.
Was blunt or like
Some people have said that it's like a pickaxe. Some people said it's like a pickaxe that has like a regular axe on the
Let's
other
look it
side.
up.
It's a small kind of axe.
But
It's
How
like
do
a
you,
grub
how do you
axe.
spell it?
it's a sharp object though.
M-A-T-T.
Yes, it could be.
It's not a blunt instrument.
It could be both. It depends
Oh,
if you keep it
Okay.
sharpened.
It's like ice pick almost like.
If you hit someone with that, that's going to be like a
That's not blunt.
piercing, stabbing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
so all the people are dead. April 4th, all they're dead. Found by some neighbors.
The Schlittenbauers or whatever they're called.
Well, no, just Lawrence Schlittenbauer.
We had
And
a key.
He had a son and a stepson. There's no wife.
Lauren is his name.
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Lorenz.
Oh, okay.
Lawrence.
So who are the Baumgartners?
Maria
maid.
Baumgartner was the maid who
Sorry,
just
okay.
showed up that day.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the investigation started by Inspector George Raingruber.
Rain Grubber. I like that one better.
Raingruber.
It's like trying to grab rain.
Ring robber.
And it's George Raingruber, and his department conducted the investigation into the Hinterkaifeck killings. Initial investigations faced challenges due to the interference of numerous people at the crime scene who moved the bodies and items, even cooked and ate meals in the kitchen.
Wow.
So
It's
people
the
were,
Schlittenbauers.
but like all the town showed up
And they
to
ate
check out what was
food.
going on and like prepared food and stuff to be in the house because it was the early 1900s. They didn't really understand like investigations.
They're saying people in the town did this, or like the
all the people
murderer could have been.
all the people in the town showed
Yeah.
up and started cooking stuff.
This makes me think that the whole town hated.
Yeah, they're like celebrating it.
Wait,
Let's cook all
Oh,
the
Just
food.
wait, this gets deeper.
See?
this gets deeper. All
Mm.
right, we're still at the tip of this.
Jeff solved another one. He just solved it.
Go!
It was the birds puking. That's how it got
Birds
the meat.
puking.
The
landed on
buzzards.
them. That's from last week.
Dude, I
The
can't
meat landed
believe we
on them.
didn't say it was a party missile last week that did it and blew up birds
Oh
in the
yeah, but that just blows off their clothes.
Oh, the birds' clothes, yeah.
Yeah,
Which would explain why the
the
meat
clothes were beat.
was
Yeah, and the
just
birds.
meat.
Yeah.
it blew
Yeah.
their feathers off.
Yeah. All right,
'Cause
so
that's their clothes. Anyway,
back to the murder.
Back to death.
back to the gruesome child murder that
Yeah.
Chris picked for this one.
You picked murder.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. However, after all these people, the investigator got there. Going back, Rain Gruber got there. All these people were there from the town. They had moved people. They ate food, and it wasn't saying like it didn't say like he took like an hour to get there. Like it was probably a couple of days, a couple hours, maybe a day or two. However, it's easy for the investigators to determine the date of the Hinterkaifeck murders. So Maria the maid had just started work at on the day of the killings, which was Friday, March 31st. Her sister had visited the farm that afternoon. The mailman delivered mail the next day on Saturday, but the family was already dead because all of the mailbox laid untouched.
So wait, Maria's sister visited.
She dropped off Maria. She was there
Okay.
that day, the 31st. The next day, the mail was never picked up. So the mail was
Gotcha.
picked up on the 31st.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now it could have been, I guess it could have been later, but they just didn't get the mail the next day. But it seems like back then, mail was pretty important.
Yeah.
They got the mail. So therefore, the investigators thought it had to happen on the 31st, the night of the 31st into the 1st. So physicians and investigators determined that the family was killed by a mattock, but it was not found at the scene. Again, that'll come up later. They did not find the murder weapon, but they determined that was the murder weapon because nothing else fit the murders.
And Schnauzbauer had the key or whatever their name was.
Schlittenbauer. Well, he had a key, but he was a neighbor.
Okay.
Closest neighbor. But we'll get into that.
But
Because that's going to come up again.
Yeah, he's the one that discovered the bodies, right?
No. Well, yes, he discovered the bodies.
He's like, hey, look at this. I can't believe they're here.
Look at my work.
But his kids, his son and his stepson came up and looked for them. Checked the house and couldn't find anybody.
Oh, you know what happened?
And then they
he
came
was like,
back.
hey, kids, go check to see if they're there. Here's my alibi.
We're going to get back to it. So what the physicians determined and the investigators that younger Cecilia was found to have been alive for several hours after the assault because of the torn out hair.
We already talked about this. Stop bringing it up.
Well, because it's in my notes. I jumped ahead before.
Holy moly.
So initially, they suspected a robbery. The police thought that maybe this was like they were being robbed because it was noted there was the Gruber family could have been wealthy. But we'll get back to that too. However, they investigated, they talked to traveling craftsmen, vagrants, and residents from nearby villages. They then determined, after searching the area, that there was large sums of money found in the house that were never taken. In fact, the house never appeared ransacked. Money and jewelry all left untouched in the house.
So it was a crime of passion.
However, the only items that had been stolen or kind of ransacked was the contents of Victoria's wallet, which was found laying open
my wallet
on her bed. Victoria's the daughter of the
Grubers.
Grubers, 35.
What would have been what was the year again?
1922.
So what would be in a 1922?
Oh, yeah,
Well, look, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. What would be? Why would anybody just go? There's
What's
money
in your
jewelry.
wallet? A note.
1922.
A key.
Was Hitler card yet? Was that the Nazis?
No, not
This is
yet.
after World War I.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
Wallet ID, but they didn't have photo IDs. They'd just be like a signature.
I'm like her credit card.
Yeah.
Ching, ching.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Her Macy's credit card.
Yeah.
Macy's.
Yeah, would it be? I don't want to be in the wallet.
Just wait. We're gonna get that. We're gonna question that.
I mean, it'd be like currency, but
right.
But they didn't take any money. There's
yeah,
tons of money in the house.
Yeah, he said there's like might have been jewels and like family jewels and
Yeah, he found large sums of money in the house, hidden in the house.
I can't wait to hear more about this wallet.
Yeah. Never really interested in wallets until now.
I've never been more interested in a wallet.
I've never wanted to hear about a wallet.
The contents of a wallet.
Yeah. More evidence. There was evidence indicated that perpetrators remained in the farm for several days because the cattle and the animals on the farm, including cattle and chickens, were all fed.
Fed.
They were all.
They're all named Fred.
They're all Fred. All the Freds on the town.
Said Fred.
In the farm.
There's a bunch of human
fed.
poop.
They also consumed entire supply of bread from the kitchen. Meat had recently been carved from livestock carcasses in the cellar, indicating that during the period between the murders and discovery of the body, someone had felt secure enough to linger about the scene, eating meals, caring for the farm animals.
So that's what I thought you said had happened when like people who just after they discovered the bodies, they were all hanging out like eating dinner and like
right. Yeah.
But this is Lantern guy though.
But they did also say that they determined that it was
the timing of it.
The timing was it was happened before the discovery.
This person just like, I murdered all these people. I'm gonna hang out here, eat their food.
Victoria did something though.
But also take care of the animals.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they took care of animals. They knew how to take care of animals.
So that also shows like some sort of like either compassion or like
covering their tracks.
Or
trying to hide out.
Yeah. Or some kind of connection to the family.
The farm.
I watched a movie recently where someone hid out houses and they called it
Parasite.
They called it frogging.
Parasite?
No, not Parasite.
Okay.
I heard about that.
They call it frogging, I guess, according to this movie. And then also Housebound. You ever seen that one? There's a similar thing. That's a good one.
Housebound and frogging.
They were frogging.
Housebound is no, the frogging one I forget. It was some weird Netflix movie that my girlfriend and I decided to watch. It was just like people like doing it to like because they were like taking a chance, right?
Okay.
They're like, oh, we're gonna stay in these rich people's houses and just like try to not get caught and film it.
That's pretty funny.
Were the people staying there?
Yeah.
Oh well.
But they were like so rich that they like didn't go into certain rooms and stuff, you know.
I mean, that probably happens all the time.
Maybe.
All right. Well, Just going back, like, list is more inconsistencies or like strange things. Food scraps and human waste were found in the attic.
See, I knew it. I said poopies.
Suggesting that the intruder had been lurking around for some time.
Lurking
in the attic.
They probably put the hay down because to like make boom boom up there.
Big boom boom and make.
So that means
bing boom.
When he heard sounds,
people were pooping.
Which is one of the reasons why the old maid quit.
It was a slow thud.
They're just like, oh god,
ground.
Oh gosh, too much schnitzels.
Too much schnitzels.
What's that?
Schnitzel? It's like a dessert, isn't it?
I thought it was like a sausage or something.
It might be.
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Okay, you look that up. I'm going to talk about inconsistencies of the murder. So, inconsistencies. The victim's movement to the barn. So,
hold on. A schnitzel is a thin slice of meat. The meat is usually thinned by pounding with a meat tenderizer. Most commonly, the meat is breaded before frying, so it's fried meat.
Okay. I mean, fried meat's delicious.
It's usually a sausage, isn't it?
It says it's veal.
Oh, veal.
Going back to veal again.
Right,
what's a veal?
A wiener schnitzel.
Baby cow.
Oh, there's different kinds of schnitzels.
Okay, so here's some inconsistencies that the investigators found. It seems that each member of the was not moved to the barn after the murders. They were somehow drawn to the barn and then murdered, maybe one by one.
Okay.
Oh, were the bodies laid?
They were all piled on top of each other.
On top of each other?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like stacked.
But not the kid.
She was like laying like next to the stack of humans.
They may have stacked her. She woke up and
Or there's out of respect for the kid.
However,
maybe.
They So investigators were trying to see if you scream in the barn, could you be heard in the living area, and it was not able to be heard.
Pretty thorough, like stuff they're doing right.
Yeah.
In the 20s, like that's.
I mean, yeah. But this investigation, the last investigation of this into this, the original investigator retired in 1986, closing the book, and then it was only reopened in like 2017 or either 2007 or 2017.
That's pretty
by a bunch of students that were trying to look into it, and they were like, "We cannot figure this out," and they just kind of closed it again.
They're like, can you hear screams from inside this barn?
Yeah,
into the house. Like that's
so they could have murdered each one at a time.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So another post-crime observations, we had the artisan that walked by. So he kind of gave his recount. He must have lived in the town. He gave him his story. There was also some things going on in the town, like on April 1st at 3 a.m., a farmer and a butcher called Simon Reublonder. It has a weird B. I'm sorry. Near Brunnen, saw two mysterious figures at the edge of the forest. The strangers turned away, seeing this butcher and his son, the butcher and the farmer, hiding their faces, and later considered possibility of their involvement. They were never found, however. So this is something that happened in town.
Yeah. So the guy that was blinded by the light, I'm guessing he didn't see the person. I'm guessing you couldn't make out the person because they're shoving a lantern in front of your face.
Like, are they like wearing a hat? Are
yeah,
they
yeah,
in a coat?
Yeah.
Are they in like overalls?
Right.
They have a pitchfork.
There was also another encounter a few years later where a stranger stopped a resident in the town and asked him about the murder, and he said, "I'm the murderer," and ran off into the woods.
It's me.
Right.
Got him.
So that's like kind of a weird like offshoot encounter, but any case, what had come up after kind of came into the investigation later, and this is what really gets into like, whoa, there's some stuff.
Yeah, so far we don't really have any details about the family other than they might have been wealthy. Victoria may have done something weird.
Yeah, money was left there.
One child
she has two
had
kids.
a horrible death.
Right. Well,
and
she
the
has
maid
two
had
kids,
a horrible death.
but no husband. The Gruber scandal. During the investigation, police heard all this scandalous, dirty laundry about the Grubers from the town. One major indiscretion kept surfacing. Some unknown person filed a complaint either in 1914 or 1915, according to the court records in the town, against Andreas Gruber and his daughter Victoria for incestuous relationships.
Oh, no.
There it is. There we go.
This is deeper.
There it is.
Well, hold on.
That's
At
why
the
she was
time,
unwed.
Maybe it was a mercy thing.
Hold on.
They're all messed up.
At the time, Victoria had been pregnant or would have recently given birth to Cecilia.
Do they have a blue hue to them?
She's 7 this time. So the numbers check out. So Victoria had recently given birth to Cecilia at the time of all this, of those kind of things coming out in 1914.
So far, the picture I'm painting in my head is Texas Chainsaw Massacre family, but like with overalls on, like lederhosen. Yeah.
But lederhosen.
Yeah.
But lederhosen. There might have been a beer.
Yeah. Some
Pilsner
beer
family.
steins.
some
Schnitzels.
Victoria had indicated that her daughter's father was Carl Gabriel. That's what's her last name.
Peter Gabriel, heard.
Who had died in a battle in 1914.
A battle?
This is World War One.
Oh, okay.
So
that's different.
1914, 1915 was these reports of incestuous relationship between her and her father. Her husband died, Gabriel, last name Gabriel, died in 1914, December of 1914.
In World War I.
Yeah, that's
World War
convenient.
Okay.
In France.
Really convenient.
Well,
convenient death.
However, not long after Carl and Victoria married in April of 1914, Carl left and returned to his parents' homestead before heading off to war. In later interrogations, one witness speculated that Carl had left as a result of the indiscretions by Victoria.
Okay.
And he was, there was questions about him even fathering Cecilia. The court found that Andreas and Victoria guilty of incest.
Oh, wow.
Wait, of
Andreas Gruber, the father and the daughter.
This is why they're living
Victoria.
on a farm.
Okay.
They found them guilty of incest, and they were both served 1 year in prison. Although stories about Victoria, because she was pregnant, she got out in a month. But Andreas served a whole year in prison for the incest.
And then they just put them back together.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do at that point?
Get on back there.
Go back.
She was 35. At
Yeah,
this point, it's not like she can. They can do whatever they want.
But they.
Is that? I feel like it's
how do they even find
by
that
those
out
standards too.
Because it was reported, and then they did an investigation, and it was in a court of law. It was like, oh no, you did this. Like they figured it out. It was like a court thing. It wasn't like someone just like you're incest.
But still, like, how did you figure that out in what 1920?
Well, we're gonna get into that why that was reported.
Testimonies.
Oh, okay.
But like back then in the 20s, she was 35.
When she died, she was 35.
And how old were her kids?
7 and 2.
And 2. And that's going to come up again, the 2-year-old and the 7-year-old. Because in 1914, 1915,
7-year-old.
Does the math equal out that she had a 7-year-old
right
after marrying in April of 1914?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, we're going to get there.
I'm going to say no.
Okay,
go on record.
Yeah.
We jump.
No.
1 year after the murders, the Gabriels would have been her Victoria's in-laws. Had Hinterkaifeck demolished. While this is being done, a murder weapon, a homemade mattock belonging to Andreas Gruber himself, was discovered hidden in a false floor by the fireplace.
A homemade one?
So that's why it was blunt, because he sucked at making them.
Yep. Although some reports claim it was found in the barn, but in any case, a homemade mattock was found.
Hidden.
Who hid it? And it apparently had blood on it. It was proven to be the murder weapon. Also, a penknife was found in the hay of the barn.
Penknife.
We're gonna go back. Okay, so that's the story.
It was the dead husband's brother or something. Or someone.
I don't think he had a brother, but the penknife's gonna come up again.
Penknife.
They found it in the hay when they demolished the building.
What do you do with a penknife?
What even is a penknife?
It's a small knife.
Oh. Okay.
Isn't that like a surgical kind of thing?
That's a scalpel?
Oh. We're not scientists. We're just a couple of guys
engineers
hanging out in the basement.
Talking about
Oh, God.
Okay, so now we're moving to theories, common theories. And this is all...
Can we give our...
You want to jump in there? You kind of were doing that as we go, but go ahead.
I don't know if there's enough evidence
yet. Yeah, I'll say this would be a good time to jump in.
I'm kind of pulling your chains in all directions.
I had questions you didn't answer any of them. You're like, we'll come later. So I need those answered first, I think.
Buckle up.
So I want to know what was in her purse, Victoria's purse.
Yeah.
I think it was definitely Victoria's
birth certificate.
Oh, yeah.
Of who the father might be of one of the children.
Do they even have
their
a
own father?
I don't know.
Do you carry them in your purse?
Carry in your wallet?
No, maybe not.
I barely carry any of the crap I'm supposed to carry.
A lot
in
of
my
birth
wallet.
certificates back then were kept in churches.
Right.
Not actually
records where you...
Was it a letter? I'm leaving you.
Maybe it was the directions to the amber room.
No more, Father. I can't do this, Father.
It's the directions to the amber room.
Yeah, there you go. Solve that one.
It was in the homestead. No. What else you got? Any other?
I mean, I need more stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna paint this picture.
I had questions.
Let's keep going.
None of them got
Saddle up.
answered.
Keep going.
That all, partner. All right.
Giddy up.
So here's some theories, and this is kind of runs the gamut. We're gonna go over specific. The theories are gonna be about specific people that could have committed these murders.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one on the list is Carl Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel.
Was he in the police?
Yep. No, Genesis.
What's
No.
Genesis? Sega Genesis?
Peter Gabriel in Genesis?
I think he was in the police.
Is he like Peter Frampton and spoke with that box?
The auto-tune. Early auto-tune.
Okay.
Or sorry, Gabriel.
Carl Gabriel, who was married.
Genesis.
So he was the husband of Victoria Gabriel, reported killed in 1914 during World War I by a shell attack in France. However, his body was never recovered.
Oh, so it's okay, it was him. He didn't die.
Rumors circulated about his death, and some speculated he might have been the Hinterkaifeck murderer. Victoria had conceived and given birth to her son Joseph in her husband's absence, even though he should have been dead, technically. The boy is rumored to have been a product of incestuous relationships between Victoria and her father Andreas, which was documented, as we know, in court filings.
The boy was the oldest of the two?
No, the boy was a 2-year-old.
So the boy
Cecilia
was
was
the
7.
incest one, not Cecilia.
We don't know.
What was that in the court? What did they figure out?
They didn't. There wasn't DNA testing back then.
Well, how do they know?
They don't.
How do they know there was any?
They locked him up for a year, right? The dad up for a year?
they proved that, I guess there was, somehow they figured out in court documents that they did incest stuff.
But
But also, if you figure out 9 months
I
from
need more
April,
information.
I mean, but back then there was a lot of he said, she said kind of stuff, so.
You look like your daughter. You're in prison 1 year.
but who made those? But again, it was an unnamed person in the court documents of who actually.
So who reported it? You don't know.
Exactly, you don't know. That's unknown. It's part of the investigation.
Carl Schlongberger, or whatever his name was.
Carl Gabriel.
Carl Gabriel Berger.
Gabriel.
So
Burgers.
Carl, there was stories from a bunch of soldiers from Germany that were kind of let go early from a Russian prison, saying that a Russian person who spoke German, who claimed to be German, let them go. And some are saying that that's Carl, blah, 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 blah. But anyway.
But I also think that this is probably an easy thing to be like,
yes,
we're not in good terms with the Russians, so let's throw a Russian name out there.
Correct. So, all right, that's Carl. They say that Carl could have been the murderer. We don't know. Because
Carl has the motive if he's alive, right?
If he's alive.
If he's alive, yeah.
And they never found his body, supposedly.
Right.
But again, did they keep good records back then? All right. Next person is the Gump brothers.
Who are
Forrest
the Gump brothers?
Adolf Gump and Anton Gump. They were investigated in 1951 based on their sister's claim.
This is 1951 they're investigated?
1951 they're investigated based on their sister saying that
almost
my
30 years
brothers basically did this murder because they were connected to the Fairkops Oberland, which I guess was an early thing that became
Nazi
party.
Oh.
And maybe there's some issues with
incest. I think everyone
maybe
should have
some
an issue
issues
with that.
with Andreas not supporting that movement, maybe. That's kind of hearsay, but it said
so these twin brothers' sister.
They're brothers. They're saying twins. Sister
Okay,
said that they did it because they admitted to it to her.
In a tornado.
In 1951, there was investigated, but wasn't found to be they don't know. Again, couldn't figure it out. Another one was Carl S. and Andrea S. That's all they have on here. 1971, a woman named Teresa T. wrote a letter citing at the end of, event of her youth. So at 12 years old, she witnessed her mother receiving a visit from the mother of Carl and Andreas S. The woman claimed their sons from Saltenberg were two murders of the Hinterkaifeck. The mother said Andreas regretted that he lost his penknife in the course of the event.
Oh, that penknife.
The family, since the family farm was demolished in 1923, a penknife was found, and but it could not be clearly assigned to anyone.
Was there any blood on this penknife or anything?
No.
Also, there were stabs, right? They were just blunt.
There's pit over the head.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like the penknife was just
coincidence.
Yeah.
Another group, or another theory, is the Bichler brothers and George Sigel. The former maid worked from November 1920 to about September 1921 at Hinterkaifeck. She suspected the brothers Anton and Karl Bichler to have committed the murders. Anton helped with potato harvest in Hinterkaifeck and therefore knew the premises, so he was kind of a farmhand.
Okay.
Anton reportedly suggested the family should be dead. The maid also emphasized that in her interrogation that the farm dog who barked at everyone never barked at Anton. There was a dog involved in this.
So this one so far sounds like the best one.
In addition, she repeated speaking to the stranger through her window at night. The maid believed that Karl Bichler and her and the brother of Anton was that person that would come visit her at night. Kind of like being like, hey, come outside with me, kind of like hitting on her, I guess.
I mean, we've talked about
why
though.
Why do the Bichlers want them dead though?
We're going to go into that.
The what?
That's what they're named, the Bichlers.
Bichler.
George or whatever the hell.
Anton and Karl. And George Sigel.
See? I knew George was in there.
So she thought that Anton and Karl committed the murder with George Sigel, who had worked. George Sigel also worked at Hinterkaifeck and knew the family had a fortune, knew they had money, but
they didn't steal anything.
Right. There was records of Sigel being he'd broken into the home in November 1920 and stolen a number of items. Though he denied it, but it was part of the investigation. That they investigating him. So he was a person that was investigated. Yeah.
But yeah, like they had access to the house though, so they could have stayed in the attic.
Correct. Another theory was the Thaler brothers. An intriguing story was related to Hinterkaifeck's former maid, Rieger again. Crescences Rieger, who was the maid. I'm terrible at names. She told the police that during her time at the farm, a neighbor named Josef Thaler had repeatedly tried to seduce her. She stated that he showed a great familiarity with the family and with the layout of the house. Thaler also told her that Andreas Gruber hid a lot of money on the farm and he knew exactly where it was. Thaler and his brother Andreas were known burglars. Some months before the murders, Andreas Gruber had caught them attempting to steal from the farm and chased them off the rifle. So a year or two after the Grubers were killed, a relative of the Thaler brothers warned Rieger that if she continued to accuse them that the murders, that they would kill her also. However, the place wasn't robbed. Again.
So they have some enemies though.
Correct.
This
family has some enemies there. Yeah.
Also, they're banging each other.
Yes.
According to the court of law back then.
Another possible, but this is kind of a stretch. Again, we're getting another stretch. Was a murderer by the name of an alleged suspected murderer, Paul Mueller. He was linked to the murders, 1898 Massachusetts family murder, which was happened in the same kind of like MO.
Okay.
So we talked about MOs.
Yeah.
So
modus operandi.
Correct. But this was in Massachusetts, U.S., and he was accused, but they figure maybe he could have taken off and
fled
the U.S. because they never caught him. Yes, they knew who it was, but he kind of took off. So, but this was also 20 years after that. Over 20 years after that.
Yeah.
But 20 years is a long time back then.
He's probably dead.
Another consideration is just a mysterious stranger who was passing through. He had motive to harm the family. Maybe in some way, or maybe he was just passing through. He lived off the farm secretly for a little while, then took off.
I don't like this one.
Yeah.
A mysterious stranger would take the money too.
Correct. Or it was just passing through.
Why did you not pass through and take the money?
Or just did it for the thrill of doing it because this person stayed in the house and kept.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's always the it could always just be a crazy person.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it also seems like this family, one, had a bunch of enemies. A couple people that were close to them thought they should be dead. So those ones
people worked for them.
Yeah.
Knew they had money, thought they should be dead.
Yeah. Especially, and the maid was like, I heard him say they should be dead.
And I heard people in the...
And the dog never barked, and they knew the lay of the land. So that's the one I'm going with so far.
All right, here's the last theory. Lawrence Schlittenbauer. So shortly after the death of his first wife in 1918, Lawrence Schlittenbauer was believed to have a relationship with Victoria Gabriel and fathered Joseph.
Well then.
There it is.
Schlittenbauer came under suspicion by locals early in the investigation because of several actions that he immediately took after the discovery of the bodies. When Schlittenbauer and his friends arrived to investigate, they had to They broke into a gate to enter the barn because all the doors were locked.
See, I said it was Schlittenbauer right off the bat.
However, immediately after finding the 4 bodies in the barn, Schlittenbauer apparently unlocked doors with a key that he had.
Right.
I remember missing key that Gruber was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I said when you said it earlier. And you were like, hold on a second, I'll come back. And you're just saying the same thing now.
Hold on. Well, I have a yeah.
I got you. You got an itinerary. You're trying
I'm trying to walk us through.
Yeah. Or paint a picture.
It is so prior to the murders, obviously a key had gone missing.
Yeah, but I wonder if during this time, though, like, was it a common practice to give your neighbors your keys?
Also,
that's my next line.
Did we ever figure out the wallets thing?
Well,
my wallet.
Well, we're going to get there.
Man, not answering anything.
That's the whole purpose. I'm just going to give you the answers while we're even doing this.
It's a build-up.
Yeah. You gotta get there slowly.
Provocative.
Intentionally, Victoria stole the key from her father and gave it to her potential lover,
Schlusbauer.
so he could stop
The
over.
Schlusbauer beer empire.
When asked why he had gone into the house when it was unclear if the murder had still been there, so the murderer, Schlittenbauer allegedly stated that he went to look for his son Joseph.
Joseph.
But he also had another son named Joseph who, supposedly his stepson named Joseph, who came home, but he's saying he's looking for his son Joseph.
Oh, he had 2 Josephs, double Joseph.
Double dipping the Josephs.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going
It
to
is
name
known-
this kid Joseph so I can murder them.
It is known that Schlittenbauer had disturbed the bodies at the scene, thus potentially compromised the investigation. They moved some stuff around. Another speculation was that Schlittenbauer murdered the family after Victoria demanded financial support for the young Joseph. While many people believe Victoria's 2-year-old son Joseph was the child of Lawrence Schlittenbauer, the man who had started the search of the farm on April 4th, some of the Gruber's neighbors believe the child was actually a product of Andreas' incestuous relationship with his brother, or with his daughter.
Wait
with
a
his
minute.
daughter.
I'm like, how did that work?
What?
Hold on.
This led to the idea that Lawrence knew Joseph was not his, but actually Andreas, and he did not want to financially support something that wasn't his.
Okay.
It was actually Andreas. With no way to prove who Joseph's father was, the authorities could not pin the murder on Lawrence.
There's also on record that they had an incestuous relationship too. So, like, that really that.
So what do you think? You noticed I didn't get to that wallet that we went through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear about the wallet.
I didn't get to it. That's it.
They never found out about the wallet.
No one knows. Well, if they can't find a murder, why would they have gone through the wallet?
There was something in the wallet. So what was normally in a wallet in what,
That's what I'm trying to
1922
think
or
of,
whatever?
like,
Was there some way to prove who
Currency.
the father of Joseph was?
So what year is this again?
1922. So what was in the
Colin?
wallet that could have proven who Joseph's father was?
Portrait,
Maybe.
maybe.
Or
Yeah,
a
but they
birth
were-
certificate. Maybe it was. I don't know. So that's the thing. So that goes unanswered. That's specifically unanswered why the wallet was the only thing ransacked in the house.
Yeah.
Unless it was someone that arrived at reform was trying to steal money. You know, like, oh,
Yeah,
wallet,
like
you
a
know.
quick. Like they had to be quick
Or
about
was
it.
they-
That's why they didn't find all the
Or
other
was
money
like Lawrence in
in
there was like, oh crap, is the birth certificate paperwork in here
Yeah.
saying that Joseph was mine?
All right, I'm looking up a history of wallets right now.
Perfect. But remember, women's wallets.
All right. Ancient wallets. They've been around since the 1300s, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Coin purse.
So that's all I got. That's the list of people. What
Well,
do you guys think?
Oh yeah, I definitely don't think it was just some weird passerby. They never found like the lantern or anything like that.
The lantern person.
None of them. So who was, I mean, we have multiple people saying that there was a guy shining a lantern in their face. You know, the artisan walking by at the beginning of the story.
What would have been like
So someone was there when after they died.
What
If it was Gruber or Andreas being the one who was like, hey, he would have probably, they would have known it was him because he was well known as.
that's what I'm trying to say. If, like, lantern back then, like, it's not like you're taking like a flashlight shining someone's eye. Like, you could still probably see who's shining it at you, unless
So
it's
this-
like,
This artisan, Plockel,
yeah.
he didn't say if it was. He said he didn't know who the person was.
They didn't know who the person was. That doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't a member of the family.
Andreas.
Yeah.
But this is also 3 days after they were supposedly murdered.
Oh, right.
So someone was there.
Yeah, someone was there.
Working, like making the farm nice.
Yeah.
Cooking.
Right, that's right. Someone's taking care of the animals, the livestock. They're cooking.
They were burning something that smelled like fabric burning. What could they have been burning? Was it
something from the wallet?
Something in the wallet.
Well, that's the thing. A passerby's not going to take the wallet stuff and not the money. Like, so it's someone who knew them.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly they were up to weird stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Victoria and the dad kind of deserve to die. The kids, not so much.
I think it's one of the, like, you have to take one with the other.
What?
I mean, you have to take one with the other. Like,
who's gonna like?
Well, the kids were innocent, and the
that's what I
maid.
mean. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
well, they died.
They can't just kill those two.
Well, right.
The kids died because of possibly what was happening.
But also, if they're luring them and secretly killing them, they could have just killed those two.
There was no evidence of the kids, of anybody being murdered in the house except for the Yosef and the maid, which was in her bedroom.
It was the blunt that, like, or not the blunt,
right?
but like the
Yosef
the
died
thing.
in his crib. The maid died in her room. No one was killed in the living area.
Everyone had blunt force trauma, though.
Correct.
On the murder.
Yes. Hid it under, and they knew enough to hide it
right
secretly somewhere.
The thing is not like a blunt force thing, but it was
handmade. Yeah,
and they could have hit him with the side of it.
That's true. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. The bodies that were found in the barn were stacked.
They were all in hay, stacked on top of each other, except for the youngest Cecilia, who was laid next to them, or she could have been laid on the top.
Yeah. I would have to investigate more in my brief search of what is in 1920s women's wallets. I couldn't really find much, but it would be curious to look that up, right? And be like, what did women carry around in the 1920s in their wallet that someone might care about to steal?
Was photographs like a big thing where everybody...
There were photographs. It looked like there were.
Yeah.
But they could...
Not saying your wallet, though. Wallet size stuff.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know.
But also, the women's wallet looked much bigger than they were carrying around.
The one
again from my
daughter
2 seconds.
At the beginning of this was like one daughter was found with she pulled her
hair out.
Also,
she was alive for hours after.
Well, that's
being
just
murdered.
unfortunate.
But why would she pull her hair out?
Wow, she probably was
from
like,
pain, anguish. Like she's
dude, her head smashed in. She's not thinking right.
Also, why wouldn't that person finish her off?
Maybe they thought they did. I don't think they would. I mean,
they stacked up the bodies afterwards.
You'd have to be a monster to. Well, first off, you'd have to be a monster anyway, but you'd have to be a real garbage.
Not finish it.
Not kill. Yeah, like not finish the job.
Yeah, right. And why stack the bodies though?
Like hide them. There was a board over them with hay over that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, and there wasn't like evidence that she fell off or anything.
She was just laying next to the stack of the other body, the adults.
So they're trying to hide the bodies.
Yes, except for the girl.
Okay, all right.
Wow, that's so weird, though.
I mean, this whole thing is kind of weird.
Well, yeah.
I mean, especially when you kill a 2-year-old.
Well, yeah. Like, so, the 2-year-old doesn't even know it's happening.
If it was Carl, which is very unlikely, why?
Why would Carl
kill a child?
Yeah.
Especially because Azealia probably was his, maybe.
But at the same time, like, anyone...
He wouldn't have allowed his potential daughter to suffer. He probably would have taken them. But Yosef was a 2-year-old. Who would have been crazy enough to kill a 2-year-old?
Maybe they just thought maybe they thought the 2-year-old would have suffered and died. So they were just...
I mean, maybe it was Carl, and like he was killing the rest of the family because they were in on everything. But then she started screaming.
But also, like,
I was like, I gotta shut you up.
I wonder why, if Lawrence was supposedly a friend of the family, how could he actually murder a 2-year-old?
Well, people are horrible.
He was a Nazi.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, no.
To be clear, I don't think all of Germany was Nazis.
No. There was Nazi. There was a
thing. Yeah, you brought that up.
Yeah, it was one of the theories, but that was I think that was
still,
the Gump brothers.
So what did you said people in 2017 or whatever looked at this again or whatever?
There was a bunch of students from a local university in Germany that re-looked into the story and like to look at all the evidence again and everything, go back through everything, and it was like I guess it was kind of like a huge deal. I think it was 2017 or it might have been 2007.
Well, recent enough, yeah.
Right. And they were like, it's unsolvable. Like we cannot figure out anything out what's already been.
There's just not enough info, yeah.
Because the guy that did the original investigation did his entire career. He retired in 1986. when he closed
I'd
the
be
case.
curious to see what the people in 2017 or whatever.
So there was a story that they found they had a potential, but they refused to give out the name because it was like
not enough, right?
And also they didn't want to like
blow a lead.
A lead, but like also like
it even blowing it at this
family.
point,
It would have been
though?
a family. They didn't want to like
Right. It's just
the kids
what
of this
purpose
person.
does it serve at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like you would just ruin.
Right.
I got
Unless it's something definitive.
Yeah, I guess the kind of backstory was like they were just like, we have no idea. We think it could be this person. That's it, and they didn't say the person was.
And that's interesting in itself. That's another mystery,
Who that person was?
right?
I guess it could have been any like.
I mean, I definitely think it was someone that knew them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I
It
definitely
seems- it
think it
seems
had
like
a
that
lot
that
to
way.
do with Victoria and the kids.
And there's actually stories. I mean, there's actual pictures from the body, like the crime scene. You can go see there's on websites. A lot of our resources we use in this episode were in German, strangely enough. So a lot of stuff I had like was kind of translated or like kind of secondhand. A lot of stuff that I got directly from the Wikipedia because it took me to the websites, like the German Wikipedia articles that
makes
one
sense. It was in
led to the
Germany.
other articles,
Yeah.
But there was a lot of pictures, and they did tear down the farm, and there's still a plaque. There's like a thing you can visit now in the area.
Yeah, there were photos.
in
That missing key in the fact
2007.
The fact that the guy had the key too was just like, hey, check it out. That's
So-
a little
So in 2007, 50,
Schlossberger or whatever his name was.
heir to the beer empire.
Schnozzberry.
Slittenbauer. 2007, 15
Schnozberg.
students of the police academy in the recent and close proximity of the town examined the case using modern methods.
I mean, a little late.
Yep.
But still worth, there might be something they could have tested. Like, did they still have the murder weapon?
I guess they still have
Yeah.
all the
They
evidence.
still have it.
They still have all the evidence. The investigators
Or,
still have all the
why
evidence.
would you get rid of it?
Yep.
But
All right.
that's unfortunate for the kids and the maid for sure. I definitely kind of think.
First day on the job.
I mean, based off of what you've said, it kind of sounds like Victoria and the dad might have had it coming, but maybe they didn't.
It seems like it was like a love triangle type of thing.
That's
maybe,
weird
or
with your
like,
dad.
But
though,
does
like-
it
like-
mean the daughter was like willing to have that happen to her, but from the dad?
Yeah.
It
But
was
also-
reported that
right.
it was rape. It could.
Oh,
In the
well, then that's horrible.
Yeah.
well, it was both. It was an incestuous relationship, but then also like, why would she have gotten locked up if it was proven to be rape?
Oh,
Although
Right.
then it's 1920s, a woman in 1920s.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
They don't really have much.
well, then definitely the dad kind of sounds
It sounds like
a
maybe
horrible
both.
person.
Yeah, it's not necessarily.
Also,
a
like
consensual
maybe he
thing.
what's the you're locked up for so long. What's that word? Stockholm
Incarcerated.
syndrome almost or whatever.
Oh,
like where you're like dependent on this person so much that
Yeah.
you're like brain warps and
I mean, this was a
Yeah.
woman who had two kids,
Stockholm
a
syndrome, yeah.
widow, in 1900s. I mean,
also where's like the father's mother? Did we ever talk about her? She just passed away.
father's mother,
Like
Carl Gabriel,
Victoria's mom.
Cecilia.
Oh,
She was the Andreas and Cecilia where they died.
they died in this too.
Cecilia was 672.
Okay.
She was the
Oh,
grand.
right. But we didn't talk about her much at all.
I mean, she just died. She was just murdered.
But she just like didn't care that her husband was like
I don't know
raping
if-
her daughter.
I don't think like they really kept records of what was going on inside the house, other than
no diaries.
I mean they were still
Cecilia,
together.
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe the purse
Like,
had a diary.
She
in it.
wasn't brought up so much that I forgot she was even mentioned. So
So because of the daughter was also Cecilia.
Yeah. Right.
Cecilia. So, but yeah, the mother 72. She died with the original murders. So and the Gabriels inherited the farm, I guess, because there was no one other heirs left or something.
How convenient.
Did they inherit all the bags of money too?
I guess I don't know.
Well, hold on. Now we got a whole other thing to think about. By the way, this family inherited everything, and
Well,
maybe that's why no one
I
stole it
think they
because
were-
they knew they were going to get
They're
it.
gonna get it anyways.
Like what?
Well, but I think they were given it because like they were like there was no one else to take over the
next of
land.
kin.
Yeah. Hey,
Did they know that they were the next of kin?
no clue.
These are the questions that we need answered.
There was a
Wallet. We definitely need to know what was in the wallet.
That wallet.
Yep.
I'm gonna
So
go
it had to been
home later
something.
and I'm gonna look it up.
The really funny thing is there's not a lot of like media, but there's not like there's like pretty much one general like German documentary about this, and there's like a lot of YouTube stuff about it, like YouTube people saying doing garbage we're doing. But like there's really no like very in-depth investigations by like History Channel and stuff. Like it's just really all surface level stuff that we just talked about.
Well, I mean, it's also like kind of a horrible story.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever watched Investigation Discovery.
Yeah.
Is this really just one of those tales by the German brothers that did all the
Brothers Grimm.
Brothers
This
Grimm?
is the
Is
worst
really just
Brothers Grimm story.
Don't be incestuous, so everyone in your family will die. Brothers Grimm.
Ring Around the Rosie, but it's
Brothers
like
Grimm.
Brothers Grimm.
Ring Around the Rosie, but it's like about incest.
Yeah.
But
What?
We're gonna have to put another
Label on this one.
Yeah.
well, you picked this one.
You picked murder.
First off, murder could have been literally any murder in the history of the world.
You're right.
Murder
And you picked
ever.
the family murder with
We start with a girl
incest and
found with her
baby
hair
child
pulled
murder.
out by her own hands.
Listen,
and also first day on
anything-
the job murder, which sounds horrible.
I'm sure anything before 1800s involved
Welcome to our
some
family.
type of incest.
Dead.
incest.
Imagine like you're like scrubbing a floor. Am I doing
Pull an object.
Yeah.
Bam.
When they got called to the barn, possibly.
Imagine scrubbing the barn floor. What? You need these turds picked up? Ah!
Why is there
What
so
did
much
I
blood?
do?
Bam.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're gonna have to solve this anytime soon.
I do think it was,
It's someone that knew them.
so yeah, that's it. Someone that knew the family.
Or had something to gain.
Right.
Or hated that they were
Why did
incest
Schlittenbauer
family.
never take any of the money or anything?
Maybe they just were like... Schlittenbauer had the key, right?
Yeah.
He had a key. Not
He
sure
had
which
a
key he
key.
had. It could have been given to him by Andreas 20 years prior.
It also
Yeah,
could
that
have been
seems
like,
like too big of
Because
a...
he's the closest person.
Oversight.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, they're missing a key, but also this guy has a key. But like,
But the
has
key
he
could
had
have
a
been-
key for 20
Let me,
years.
let
But
me
it could-
show you around the
But
house.
there's all those other people that like robbed the house or potentially robbed the house. Maybe they grabbed the key. There's people
He
living
also
in the
could-
attic.
He also could have been the guy like
Yeah, it
living
also
there.
could have been the people. Yeah,
Was Schlittenbauer living in the attic? Like who was in the attic?
Mm.
They found stuff up there.
true.
Why was
There's
Schlittenbauer
a
hanging
pen-
out in the attic?
There's a
Well, I
penknife.
think we can say for sure it was whoever was in the.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Then yeah.
unless like the dad just went up there to be weird or something.
And they found human waste up there.
Oh, that's right. They did find him in waste.
Yep.
You could probably
Food scraps and
Whoever the attic was. So everyone,
Attic
you're
boy.
listening
That's
to
what I
this.
He's
said.
an attic boy.
You hear those creaks up there.
yeah, everyone go check your attics.
Look for
Yeah, like-
human feces.
Look for
In
feces.
straw, yeah.
Hey.
And food scraps.
Send it to an art guy. He'll
Make jelly
extract-
beans out of it.
Yeah. That's last week. But
It's fine.
yeah. Yeah.
What's this jelly bean taste like? Shit. Tastes like human crap.
Tastes like a murdered family.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, both of you, for being here. Jordan, thank you as always.
Yeah, thank you.
You're a great person. Great, potential murder
You're
victim.
great. Yeah.
Jeff.
Whoa. Wow.
Jeff, as always,
Wowie wee wow.
thank you for being here. Our second guest,
Well, on the
First.
the first guest,
second
time
appearance.
appearance. Yes.
First time, second time.
First time.
Yeah,
Is that right? No.
It don't matter.
it doesn't. Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having.
We always enjoy your intense engagement with the content matter.
I just, I have questions. You're not answering them.
That's the entire point of the show. Is we have no answers. We make, as we said in a recent episode, we make worse.
Yeah.
Everything
We
worse.
want the viewer to go out and figure it out. Not us.
Yeah,
and then
all
they,
please-
they do all the work.
And then tell us so we can.
You're giving everyone prompts,
Yeah.
basically.
Do
Yeah.
homework.
There's a reason why they call these mysteries. I can't solve.
Dude, have you guys, side note, before we end, have you seen The Jinx on HBO?
No.
It was a documentary about all these murders and
When the
stuff.
guy went in the bathroom.
What?
No, that's I know what you're talking about.
This was like a very rich guy, Robert Durden or
Oh, that's
Yeah,
him.
yeah. He
Robert
went in the
Durst.
bathroom and
Robert,
kinda
gave-
Robert
Durst.
Durst. Yeah.
He
But-
gave himself up in the bathroom
Yeah. He's like,
because
oh,
the mic was on.
Yeah, well, no, and the handwriting and stuff. So, like, by making that, they solved it.
Yeah. Because
that's
he had a
awesome.
microphone on in the bathroom.
So maybe
Yeah.
someday you'll get your Jinx. That's what I'm trying to say.
You have a microphone on? You need to go to the
But
bathroom?
no, I
You need to go to the bathroom right
maybe
now?
you'll
I can't
sell
believe I
some-
did this.
I do have
They
to go.
found me out.
I do have to go to the bathroom. But,
I was the meat bandit.
well,
Mile
I was
meat
it.
bandit.
You were the one that dropped the meat on that farm
It
last
was
week.
me.
140 something years ago.
Yeah, 100.
It is I.
Don't worry about it.
Well, thank you again both for being here. And thank you everybody for tuning in. If you like this episode, go ahead and please give us a subscribe.
If you didn't like it, you're
Don't
an idiot.
subscribe. Yeah.
You're dumb.
If you liked it and you're listening to it, please give it a follow on your popular podcast platform of choice.
What?
You know, the thing you're listening to.
The triple P.
If you can't see us, hit subscribe
Podcast.
or hit follow. And if you can see us, hit subscribe. And then go to any type of social media that we may be on. It's all in the
You know
notes.
this stuff already. Just do it.
Yeah, you're a person in the
Yeah.
modern age.
Right? And
Instagram,
if you don't know how to
Facebook.
do this, you stink.
We got a lot of people from around the world.
You
listening
probably
to us.
taste like that jelly bean.
Instagram,
Metallic
Facebook,
and
at Mysterious
sugary.
Pals, MysteriousPals.com, X or Twitter, whatever the hell they're calling that thing, at Mysterious_Pals, and at MysteriousPals at gmail.com is our email address. If you want to send us in information or feedback or anything, we look for information. Apparently, Jeff has a bunch of Japanese mysteries we can look into.
I
Apparently,
sent them to you.
through what?
What? Through the phone. Through a text message.
There's a Japanese serial killer. That's the only one I looked at.
There's a whole
You said more?
list. It was like the top 10.
Jeff lies.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I don't know what
I'm
he's
just trying to
talking
help. Trying to help you guys.
You can find this guy.
Oh, yes. Jeff, please tell where can we find you?
Dethlehem. This is my band.
It's in the link in the description.
We made the song that starts and ends this.
Escape from Wolf Mountain.
Escape
There's
from
also
Wolf Mountain.
a cool video you guys made for that.
There
Yeah.
is, yeah. It was over the course of 2 years. It's stop motion animation. It is definitely an 18+ video, so you're warned.
Hey, kids that are listening to mysteries that your parents let you listen to.
Cream Team, Twitch, Brian and I. Brian will be on the show at some point. But we stream on there, and by this point we would have had a cool charity stream. What else? That's about it, really.
Well, Jeff, thank you for being here again.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you for having me.
We love you very much. Jordan, thank you for being here again.
Thanks, Chris.
You're all right. Okay. Until next time, stay mysterious.
We'll see you in hell.
Oh.
Oh, you cut me off. It's fine.
Jeff said stay in hell. Stay in hell?
Stay in hell.
Stay in hell.
Stay there.
Stay in hell. All right. Thank you,
Stay.
everybody. Please join us again next time and whatever.
Bye.
Thank you.